Are you interested in promoting or increasing the attendance of your truck and tractor pull event? My name is Jason Schultz, owner of the Beer Money Pulling Team, which has over 1.3 million followers across Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Our goal is to grow the sport of truck and tractor pulling and increase the awareness of the sport through our social media presence and highly engaged audience. We want to partner with you and help you grow the attendance of your event. We have a ton of promotional opportunities available and a full-time social media coordinator to make sure your investment is taken care of. For more information on promotional opportunities, give me a call, 608-604-5068.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Let's Grow Pulling Live. We are joined tonight by Adam Drought there in the middle and Ryan Anderson, the gang for Anderson Motorsports, top right of your screen. And, of course, Cody and Ryan. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Great.
Good, man.
Good deal. Well, Ryan, you invited the Anderson gang on to be up first tonight, so I'm going to turn things over to you right off the hop.
Anderson gang, how are you guys? Thanks for coming on.
Yep, thanks for having us. Good to see you, Bruce.
It should be noted that you guys are in the shop, and I see parts of a tractor. I do not see a complete machine.
Now we got a little ways to go, as you can see.
I was about to say explain yourselves, but, you know.
We got 11 days, don't we? I mean, we'll get it done. A couple all-nighters and some Rust-Oleum, and we'll be ready to go.
Perfect. Adam's going to kill you if you Rust-Oleum those fenders.
Yeah. We might have a surprise for you on that.
I
had nothing to do with this, so.
So how's the off season been in preparation for this? I know you guys, you had a lot going on, and I know you lost your dad. And
as you can see, we're a little behind schedule. Waiting on like everybody else, but we're trying to make a mad dash here to the end. So I think hopefully we'll get what we need. We're about ready to go. Just we need some late nights of finishing up.
Before Louisville, 2 days before, we was on the dyno. We split the block, split the head. We picked up an old block from several years ago and grabbed a bunch of parts, put it together, went to Louisville, and a head that hadn't been running 5 years decided it was going to hang a valve open and knock us down about 20 pounds of boost. We didn't run well, and we came home and we totally regrouped. So we got a new bullet, but we got a lot of work yet to do. It ain't together yet, and we got to go to the dyno. And we got to go finish a complete tractor.
Yeah, you guys do have a lot going ahead of you.
We're officially using the rear tires and the hood at this point.
What started out to build a new engine turned into a new chassis, new roll cage. Let's just repaint the tractor, new front tires and wheels, just a couple parts.
Holy moly.
New final drives.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
new axles. While
New
we were out,
axles.
those are looking weak.
Plus we're
Put some new
building
ones on.
another one. So
Yeah, the hot farm behind us, we got to have it rolling out by July. So we got some guys that are purchased it, and it's going to be touring the circuit.
Is that the old frame?
That's going to be the old frame. We built a 510 for it, and it'll compete in the hot farm.
Nice.
Just
Nice.
a
So
little
you guys have competed in 510, haven't you, or no?
No.
We were 640 Pro Farms. The big,
okay.
the romp Pro Farms.
Right.
We got out when it got crazy.
The climb in the Sandile Pro Farms.
Yes.
Yeah. We actually went to the dyno and we made a pass, and Kent turned around and told us we was done because it was crazy amount of torque that we make. And he says, "You're done. You're switching classes."
Nice.
He said we can't keep the drive line together any longer. That's it.
Adam Wilson wants more specifics. He heard hot farm and his ears kind of perked up.
Well, we just threw together some old parts we had, so just
it was going to be us running it.
Yeah,
we
we
just don't have time.
we were going to run it, and some guys caught wind that we were putting one together, and they approached us, and we
Cash talks.
decided to send her down the road. We just don't have time to run it all.
I imagine that's pretty serious. Go ahead, Charles.
I was gonna say the difference between your guys' threw some parts together and just about everybody else's is just two totally different things, I think.
Well, they're going to get a Passenger National champion checking out tractor. It's basically going to be in hot farm now with the 510.
Yeah.
Very nice. So when's it? We're hoping to get it out for July.
That's our hope. So
That was like our contract, wasn't it?
yeah. So we got some sheet metal work to do, which is going to slow us down, but everything else is pretty well ready to go. So we're excited for them. They've never really run a hot farm, so they'll have a little learning to do. But that's a good up and coming class. A lot of good guys. So I think they'll they'll have fun.
Good. Yeah, that IPL 510 hot farm is always a fun class to watch and fun class to shoot.
Horsepower wise, it's not far off my super farm.
Yeah, they're pretty well right there.
No, you're right.
Horsepower.
You think, Adam?
They build them stout there.
Yep.
So Ryan, what's the plan for this year? NTPA again, and all over the country you go, or?
Yeah, we're going to run NTPA Grand National again. That's our plan. We might hit a few select events here and there. So just kind of see what time allows us. We've had a lot of things going on in our life, and so we're all busy, and we're just kind of one day at a time. We'll see what it goes. We're definitely going to run the Grand National circuit, and then we'll just pick and choose from there.
Good deal. Good deal. You got some young crew members that always seem to be stomping around the pits whenever I'm around. You got how old are the kids now?
Faith is 6. Alex, come over here, Alex. This is Bub's little boy. He helps a lot. He's always shagging weights and wiping the tractor down. Anything we need, he's
Running
there.
across the track to get.
Carrying a 75-pound weight a half a mile, whatever you need.
Awesome. Slave labor for the win. Great.
Yeah, we sent him on a mission to the pole, and it was pretty I'll tell you what, he
Climb a fence.
was devoted.
Yeah, to climb
We
a
didn't
fence.
realize that the gate was locked, but he climbed over the fence and went a half a mile and carried a 75-pound weight back, and then proceeded to tell us that the gate was closed. We're like, why didn't you come back and tell us and take the club car or something? And he's like, I knew 10 years old running across there with a weight. I don't like picking up 100-pounders. I can't imagine being 10 carrying a 75-pounder for.
Let's just say he slept well that night.
I imagine he did.
Yeah, we got a good crew. But I couldn't do it without this crew. These guys are amazing. We kind of do it as a team, and a couple guys can be here one night, and the other guys are busy, so the other guys pitch in, and we just kind of pitch in where we can.
We all got
That's
our own,
awesome.
Yeah, everybody's got a role, which is important in this sport.
Big feather in our
Agreed.
cap. Chip Shawana this winter. Ryan, of course, wins the first night, and then he had to come home. His dad was having problems, and Justin gets in the seat, and we get them cooler tractors again and got them all scratching their heads how a non-cooler tractor whips them, but that was kind of fun.
And make the driver change. We was all pretty proud of that moment.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of think they're doing more than just scratching their heads. I think they're saying words they shouldn't say in front of their mother too.
We know Master does.
Love you, Shane.
When you come up to us and say, what in the heck do I got to do to beat you guys? I said, well, we changed drivers, so I don't know.
We won't have a Wonder Bread fire suit for him this year.
We all get the job done. We know what needs to get the job done.
We got a great class. We got great guys to pull with, and we joke around. But man, it's when my dad passed, it was some of the best guys in the country that reached out to us, and that really means a lot. It's the sport's bigger than just pulling.
100% agree.
Good down-home folk.
Yeah, Chuck, the tractor's still the same hood, just a little bit updates on the paint and that. We didn't change a whole lot, but we changed enough that people can tell we changed things.
Did you keep the front fenders? Tip fenders on the front tires?
Well, that's for you guys to see. That's one of our secrets.
Nah, Leroy, they've got diamond treads on it now, so it looks a little bit like an Alice Chalmers. They're picking on Shane, and so they actually widened out the fenders.
Smoking pumpkin is what ours called.
Hey, speaking of the passing of your father, of course, you know that I come up there to your dad's visitation there in Hoopston, and what a tremendous crowd that showed up to honor your dad. I mean, my wife and I, we got in the visitation line about 5:30 and finally got up to see the family about 20 after 7. An hour and 50-minute wait. And I know there were some behind us that had dang near a 3-hour wait. That just shows the testament that David Anderson was to that whole area up there, Ryan.
It was pretty humbling to see. I mean, visitation finished up about 9:30 that night. We got to counting up. We had over 2,000 people that went through. I mean,
Wow.
Unbelievable.
He was an icon around here. I mean, everybody knew him. He never said no to nobody. He always helped somebody.
How many pullers came through the line? I saw a few. Of course, Kent and Sandy were there, and I saw the Built for Business Johnson Farms came through the line. Were there any other pullers that came up there?
Yep. Brian Carrington drove from Ohio to come.
Wow. Nice.
The big shout out to him. He stopped at Mayhill's, knew I had a set of tires there, and picked them up for me, so I didn't have to worry about it. So, and he tells me that in the visitation line. So, just amazing the friendship. Yeah, a lot of guys called and expressed their sympathy or sent messages to us or memorials. I mean, it was pretty amazing.
That's cool.
Travis is watching.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rooster talked a lot. Yeah, right. We can't get him to talk to us. Either that he mumbles and you can't understand him anyway. So.
As you can see, we can't get him in the building. So.
Yeah, Ryan tried pulling a fast one on me at the Clint's Midwest Winter Nationals up there at Shipshawana. He was standing there talking with Josh Miley, and he said, just to reiterate, he goes, for the Pullers Championship, he said, the ones without coolers, we get 9,700 pounds, right? You remember that, Ryan?
I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, we got an ice box now, too. We just don't have a cooler. Maybe we'll surprise everybody.
Yeah.
You never know what we might have on.
I got a couple sitting in the shop for you. Didn't say they were good.
We'll see.
We give you the Monday night price on one.
There we go.
We'll see where the dyno ends up, and we'll ask the doctor up there in Michigan, are we close enough or not? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, right.
But in all seriousness, the addition of the Super Farm class to the Pullers Championship this year is created a lot of buzz that I don't know. Some of us expected it, some of us maybe not expected it, but we're all looking forward to that class. That's going to be exciting.
That's good to be added. That's.
But I think it's just such a great class that anyone can win any night, and it's just so competitive. So,
Super Farm gets a little disrespect on the pull-off pages and different ones of, they just chirp out. I ain't seen a Super Farm chirp out in 5, 6, 7 years. But a lot of people don't realize 25 years ago, a Super Farm is kind of close to where Pro Stocks were. And the classes came a long way, and we're doing it with a little bitty opening this big, spinning the world out of it, doing a lot. And the class has moved a long way. And if anybody thinks it's easy to win, just go look at the champions on either side. They very rarely win more than 2 or 3 hooks. If you can just finish in the top 5, you're really doing something at every hook.
Yeah. Well, and the good thing about Super Farm is, it adds a lot of engineering to tractor pulling because we're working so hard to get it through. Yeah. So a lot of the engineering the Super Farm brings seems to get trickled down through some of the other classes. And that's really what helps grow the sport and keep it going, is to have some different levels and, have an entry level class to kind of get people to get started to maybe progress to something else.
You're really picking your brain for that 10 or 20 horse nowadays because everybody's so close.
Travis is looking forward to the weight difference.
It's actually a pretty good equalizer. It allows us to stay in the track at the end. It showed up there at Shipshawana. If you got your setup right, we're not that far off of them, and if you do it right, you can beat them with that little bit of extra weight. I'd rather see us stay at 93 and they go to 91 instead of us going up, because then it really evens it up. But we won't go there real far.
So, Ryan, how many laps have you made on that Nashville track?
None. This will be my maiden voyage.
Really?
Yeah, never been down that track. Heard about it.
Interesting.
Never been down it.
I wonder how many of our Super Farm classes this will be the maiden voyage.
I would say quite a few. Yeah.
Would it be?
Josh or maybe Jeremy, when he ran Hot Farm, they ran over there, but about everybody else, I'd say it would be about the first time.
Yeah, I don't remember. Have we ever had Super Farms at Track and Holes hours?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They got the Illinois, whatever, I don't know the class name that they all run, so it kind of takes us out over there.
The Southern Illinois Hot Farm Stock Association or something like that.
Yeah. The only hook we really run in Illinois is sandwich. There ain't many super farm hooks in Illinois anymore. They're pretty far and few between. If we want to go for a little weekend getaway, we still got to go to Michigan or Ohio or Wisconsin.
You can come to Michigan and get a super farm hook any weekend all summer. They're everywhere up here.
Same over here.
I tell Tony and them guys all the time, they got an unfair advantage. You guys are pulling 5 times a week.
Well, let's get Bubba to get that Rossville pull going again.
Oh, there's a lot of traction with that, but I think it needs to be in a little more further to the west where there's a lot of concrete and some old air hangers. That's my idea. Where everybody can park on concrete there in Rantoul. I think that's where a big pull could be done and grown into a major event. You got an artificial crowd there from the half century of progress, and I think you could build it into something, but I ain't had time to get to that, but maybe one day.
How would you draw the crowd in the off season or in the every other year?
I think you just build it through the year that it's there, right? You create a good enough event that people just want to come back. I think that's what we got to work on is pulling in general. I think we got our group of people that follow pulling and have a passion, but we got to find a way to get the artificial clicks on here or get the artificial fan at an event like that. You got to put your best foot forward to make them come back. And I think as pulling, we got to work on that better.
What's the number one piece of advice that you'd give to a promoter about that? What's the number one thing that puts the best foot forward, so to speak?
I think my opinion, there should be more of bringing your Grand National, NTPA, or PPO event, but you also have to have a local level like an IPA or ITPA or IPL that runs there also, and put them guys on that big stage. It only advances pullers, and if you're only going 30 miles to pull on that big stage, they're going to bring family members, and that 20 family members might create 5 more fans that follow us. I think sometimes we get stuck. We're up here at Grand National, and we think that'll be the draw to bring the fans, when sometimes we need the locals to be able to pull with us too to create that. Now, I'm not talking tonight. I'm talking, like a hot farm class and like a local truck class or something that will run with us. Just 1 or 2 classes to keep pulling that along. We had big crowds when we had the Rossville pull Leroy talked about. We would get 2,000-3,000 people there at our pull. It was
they'd be sitting up there on the hill, and exactly what Bubba was talking about. We'd be running the PPL on one track and the Ileana Pullers Association on the other, with 11,000-pound NA class and local pickup truck class, and I don't know what else did you run up there on the IPA side, Bubba?
Oh, the Pro Farm class, the diesel pickups. We had it was called Outlaws, I think it was called, wasn't it? Or
right, yeah.
The light Pro Farm or something now. But I had several of those guys that were just honored to be able to get out on the same track as the Champions Tour guys. And they
what was really cool about that Rossville venue is the way that they were pitting out there in the trees in the woods. It's not really woods, but pitting out there in a beautiful setting there in that park, that Crispin Park.
Yep. And it's kind of like we have a natural amphitheater. There's probably a 40-foot tall hill.
Yep.
So you could park and set everybody down low, and then everybody could get up on the hill and watch it. But you could go a quarter mile or a half mile to downtown and never hear the event because it contained itself like a stadium. And you had that stadium feel. It was pretty neat.
So let me ask you this, Bubba. Would it be like a Gordyville where people would come out there early in the morning or in the afternoon and put their blankets out there on the hill and reserve their spot to watch the pull?
We would have a line of 50 cars on the Wednesday night before the Friday night show. They would get in line. We wouldn't allow them to get in line until 3:00 to park their vehicles at 5. They would line up. So, and a lot of our crowd was coming from the Gordyville area. We're only 30 miles from Gordyville. We love going to Shipshewana. We love the facility, but we miss going 30 miles to a hook too.
In that area, I mean, has always been around pulling. You got the Penfield guys, you got Harmses. I mean, you go back in the day with the Harmses, and there's a lot of history that's there with tractor pulling. This I think we could really capture with a pull over in that area.
A lot of the half century of progress, that big show over there, is all put on by their families. They created all that. So, yeah, we have a big artificial crowd, I would call locals here.
Is that the family of Darius Harms? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, Darius Harms.
Okay.
Darius's boys, Derek and Dirk, they're very involved. I think one of them, well, not only do they have the half century of progress every other year on the old Chanute Air Force Base there, which is now the Rantoul Aviation Center, they're also very involved with the I&I Historic Farm Days, Illinois and Indiana, the I&I Historic Farm Days, which they have a tractor pulls basically every day of that. It's a 3-day event. I think a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they have an ITPA, Illinois Tractor Pulling Association, pull there on a Friday night. So, yeah, both those Harms boys are very involved with that.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with trying to turn the half century of progress into a bigger pull. I got to go out there and work that show 4 or 5 years ago. I think I was out there and really enjoyed it. Got my eyes open about what that whole program is there and the opportunity that it presents.
Well, and it gives us a time to kind of teach our youth about history of farming and, to help them, educate them on where farming's come from. It's just a great circle for people to see.
Yeah.
And then all the concrete. I mean, the pullers can all park on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You can go right up to the track. I mean, basically, you could cover the track and it could rain 8 inches. And the drainage system they have there, you could pull the tarp off and go. I mean, the capabilities of that facility would be phenomenal.
And there's definitely a lot of iron running around under live demo situations where if you got to turn the track around quick, it'll get done.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have plenty of equipment, that's for sure.
They could farm 10,000 acres with 3 bottom piles in about 10 minutes.
Uh-huh. Just from a tractor nerd perspective, think about the variety of guys who would be in line to be pull-off tractors at that show.
Oh, I bet you wouldn't have to get any volunteers.
No, they'd all be waiting in the wings. There'd be a line, 60 tractors deep.
Yeah, it'd be tickled to death.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Every competitor would have its own personal escort to and from the track.
That's true, yeah.
But when I go to Bowling Green, when I see Bowling Green and you look at the history where it came from, it kind of came out of the same thing at that fairgrounds and how it built and the blue shirts that are there working. And I think you could, I don't know if it could ever turn into a Bowling Green, but I think it has the capabilities. It could grow to a big pole because of the facility you already got there. And I think as polling, we need to look at more facilities like that. We love going up to like your pole up there, Roos, Rockwell, Iowa. I mean, that from the first time we went up there to last year, the improvements you see every year, and it's just a great place to go pole. I mean, just because they're trying for the bowlers.
Toma was a really nice pole.
Toma is an amazing place to go to. I mean, Brandenburg, Kentucky is awesome to go to. And on the PPL side up at Goshen, the track is a little loose, but man, you talk about a nice facility. Or up at Dawn's up there, he's doing nice things.
The first ever TV event that I ever did for Lucas Oil was Goshen. And I got out there at 8 o'clock in the morning out there at Elkhart, Indiana, and the Elkhart County Fair. And I could not believe how many people were in the grandstands for a noon start at 8 a.m. in the morning already. the crowd that they get there, it's crazy.
We pulled somewhere the night before. I can't remember where it was in PPL, and then we drove all night to get to Goshen. We rolled in about 8 a.m. and we pulled the generator out. Everybody's exhausted. We've been up all night. Pulled the generator out. We all took a shower and laid down, and all of a sudden they fire up tractors. And we're like, what in the world is going on? These people are pulling at noon. Yeah. So we didn't get any sleep, but it was amazing to see the fans and the people turn out at noontime for a pull.
And I think that's another back to the local classes, right? They start out with little farmholes and John Deere 2-cylinders, and then advance to the big show in the night. I think there's people that'll sit there from 8 in the morning until you stop at midnight or whenever it gets over. It's quite amazing.
And if you go to Goshen, if you're lucky, you'll get some donuts from Jamie Qualls. JQ's always up there.
Is Goshen where they run like four or five tracks wide? Or am I thinking somewhere else?
It's only a couple.
Only 2 track wide, yeah.
Barely 2 tracks wide.
I think the Shipshawana hooks that we have, that's been a good advancement. And, Louisville, of course, is awesome. A lot of our winter pulls that we're doing, that's the new Louisville Truck Show pull. I think we're doing a lot of good things in pulling in the wintertime.
Even though it means you don't get an off season.
Don't bother me.
You got to fine tune somewhere.
All right, that's fair.
We had some troubles in the middle of the season. Me and Justin over here, we came, split the tractor, loaded it up, left at 4 in the morning, went to Michigan, dynoed all day, drove back home, put it together, went to the pole. We found our problem and started winning again. There's time for sleep when we're dead.
Ryan yeah. Unless he's dead, we'll too.
I just hope I go first so I don't have all the work to do by myself.
Yeah.
So Ryan, I know you've pulled on a lot of tracks over the years. What have been some of your favorites and why?
Well, of course, I would say, Bowling Green, just the atmosphere there is probably amazing. Just to see all the fans and the history of that pole. Louisville, the first pole I ever took my wife to was at Louisville. I remember, we were pulling Pro Farm, just a roll bar, no roll cage, anything like that. I took her to pull, and we were just getting ready to get married, and she said, wow, this is great. Is this where we're going to pull? And I said, there is no way we're ever going to be able to afford to pull at this place. And the first time I went into that sled at Louisville was pretty humbling. Brandenburg, Rockwell, a few of them places. I mean, those are probably the ones that stick out. And most of the time, it's just due to the fans. That's the real reason we do this, is to try to spur pulling along. When we were kids, we watched our idols. Don Masterson just passing away. You grew up watching icons like that, and it just great ambassadors of the sport to light the fire in a young kid, and that's what we're trying to do for people.
You got a good Don Masterson story for us?
Probably Louisville, when he was last and we watched him come back and put it in the sand pile was probably the most awesome thing I've ever seen.
I picked Don that night, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
We were doing betting before there was full pull bets. That was always the thing. We always were betting on that, and Don and Kevin were always at the top. And people we watched, I remember the first time I pulled at Louisville, I guess probably the neatest thing was just to shake his hand, and for him to say, welcome to Louisville, was probably the neatest thing for me as a puller.
Hey, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but you won at Louisville on a Saturday night, the same day as what your mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary was, correct?
I did. My mom wasn't real excited about going to the farm show for her anniversary, but my dad convinced her that was a good idea. So, but by the time the night was over, she was feeling okay about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Megan had told me that. Megan had passed that on to me, and then I had texted Dave Bennett. And I think Dave made an announcement that night that it was your mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary.
Gave him a shout out, and it was a great moment. That picture was in the video that we had at his funeral, and that's what tractor pulling's all about. It's a family sport. You take your family, just like dirt track racing and things like that. It's just a big family, and that's amazing to me to see.
Just to walk out on that track and just have the opportunity to pull is pretty amazing. And then to think we won it a couple times.
And to watch all the organization it takes at Bowling Green and Louisville, Mike Witt. I mean, he does an amazing job, and the crew that he has putting that pull together seamlessly. The way they keep that thing going and keep the fans in the seats and keep it going is just amazing to see.
Yeah, it really is amazing to watch that. Back in the Gordyville days, when we were pulling in the horse barn, watching that was poetry in motion. But and it still is. But I think what Mike does with Dan and his crew, I think it's almost every bit as entertaining to watch.
A lot of people claim that it's a Super Bowl of tractor pulling. I probably have to agree with them. It's the best of the country coming together to pull, and that's what the fans want to see. And it's one thing you guys are trying to create with the Pullers Championship. I mean, it is, and it's a great way to kick the season off and get everybody out there. It's just it's kind of a neat event to bring lots of different organizations together and grow the sport.
It's one thing to go and win the Grand National or go on PPL side and win, but when we all get together, that you're running against 10, 12 of the absolute best. I mean, if you're a competitor, that's what you want. Let's line them all up and let's go.
That's the beauty of pro stock. I mean, you can go anywhere in the country. The rules are the same, and I think that's one thing that we've got to focus more on. We've even pushed for that in Super Farm. You got PPL, got coolers, and we don't. We need more unified rules to bring us together so we can have more big events and put everybody together.
Speaking of the pro stock class, Ryan, give us your thoughts on the 5-inch pro stock.
Well, I'm not a real big fan of box chargers. I think it really takes engineering and out of the sport. And we've watched that with NASCAR through history. What happens to a sport when you take engineering out of it? NASCAR's at ultimate low with what they've done to the sport, which concerns me for our sport and where we're headed. And, I understand why. We all know that everybody's going to push the rules and do this and that, but we've got to find a way to unify to have similar rules so we don't have all the bickering.
You can't take away the biggest lever we were all about the 5.0 class. We thought we were really thinking about maybe even doing something towards it if it really took off. And then when the box charger thing was on, it wasn't our interest.
And that's fair.
I think it's got potential, but I don't know. Somehow the powers to be, they got to get their heads.
I guess that's coming from a class that can't get away from each other now. I mean, I think last year before we went to the dyno for Louisville, we'd made like 50-some passes on the dyno just to run last year. I mean, we're trying to find 5 and 10 all the time. And we know when you put that charger on top and it's in a box turbo. I mean, if I ran a box turbo class, I'd call and order 5 turbos and figure out which one was the best. Because you can build 5 of them, and not 5 of them will be the best. It's going to turn into that. Somebody's going to innovate like that. Okay, you're going to make me get a box charger? Well, send me 5 of them, and I'll find the best one and sell the other ones. People are going to find a way. You can keep making rules, and all you're going to do, what we found in Super Farm, we're just going to machine around it.
And make the class more expensive and turn people away.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to rule against either money or someone's determination to do it.
Right.
Yes,
right.
And that's where I think we get lost in some of those rules sometimes.
I think
I'd rather see cubic inches get pulled down as a whole, because you want to limit turbos. Take away cubic inches that push the turbos. You limit them in that factor, and that
it's only going to push so big of a turbo.
It's only going to do so much.
And it makes the motors live and makes things cheaper and a little more affordable. And, you know, we've talked about it. You know, Super Stock's a prime example. You know, the Light Pro class has become kind of an area where they can sell some engine parts, and it makes a funnel and a trickle down for them guys to buy some parts, having, you know, similarities in their motors.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot to chew on there, and we could go. I mean, we can talk all night in circles on that. But we appreciate you guys giving us 45 minutes of your time. I know that's 45 minutes of your life that you won't get back, and that you're not wrenching on that tractor back there.
All right.
So, but before we let you go, this is for all of you. Tell me, if you could go pulling with any tractor or truck or pulling vehicle from history, now, past or present, what would you take pulling? Where would you take it, and why?
Oh man, that's a tough question, Bruce. You should have gave me that one ahead of time.
Ryan, I've been asking this question for 3 years. You don't get a pass.
Well,
But if you don't have an answer, I will hit you up in a week and a half, and we'll do it on camera on a live show.
Well, I would honestly say, you know, probably I would ride on Don Masterson's tractor. Just the history of it, the history that them guys have with pulling, and that tractor always run. It doesn't matter which pull you're at, it's in the top all the time. So that's probably my pick.
Where would you drive it?
I would probably drive it up to Farm Machinery Show. You know, Don's made a lot of history at that pole, and
has he ever?
It always is right in there. I'm always betting on that tractor if I got the opportunity.
I'd probably have to go with Kent Payne Super Rooster, just from we've been there to watch the evolution of a one-man band that started, and he's worked his way through, and now he's one of the top in the country, and an amazing ride. And I know Travis is watching. I think Travis might have his hands full this year. So, and I'd probably pull at Louisville too.
I'd say Simon Pro Stock at Bowling Green.
I want to go with Polar Air, modified Bowling Green.
Attaboy.
Choice.
Sorry, I've been chastised for not writing this stuff down and capturing what people say, so I'm actually doing that now. Well, guys, listen, we really appreciate it. We are very much looking forward to having you guys at the inaugural Super Farm class at the TPC next week.
We are excited, so thanks for
when
having
is that
us.
again? Next week?
I think it's next week. Let me check my calendar. I'll text you.
One more week.
I need to send you a reminder.
Yeah. We might be
set
there
it.
an hour or two late, but hey, the paint, don't touch the paint. It'll still be sticky.
Fair enough.
So what do the trophies look like?
We haven't seen them either.
I'm curious. We just like to see what we're going to get, maybe.
Now you had to say that, Doug.
Oh boy.
Speaking of that,
And not only that, you said it in front of an announcer.
It starts
them,
already.
can't blame the driver.
I'll predict you'll finish in the top 10.
We're only showing up with a brand new tractor, with a brand new chassis, with a brand new engine.
We get past the 300-foot mark, we'll be happy.
Yeah, we'll be doing good.
And now the excuse making starts.
Yes, exactly. The backpedaling.
Yeah.
You guys might want to bring a magnet to pick up any of the loose nuts we forgot to tighten.
Cody, remind me to throw an extra 5-gallon bucket in the back of the car.
Yeah.
With a check
You
mark
have metal ones? I feel like the parts would be hot when they come out.
Yeah.
We'll wait until they cool a little.
Yeah.
So
We'll
I
bring some
do.
silicone oven mitts. Adam's got something.
Yeah, I do have one more thing, and I was going to call Ryan here probably next week before we get things going. I know I sent him a photo of the shirt that we have, our new shirt for the ride here. But this year I wanted to dedicate my ride to Ryan's father. I want to have him on board with me. I'll make a plaque up or a piece of paper, and he's going to be riding with me the whole way during that ride. So
That means a lot.
That's
Thanks,
awesome,
Adam.
Adam.
I was going to give you a call. I had no idea you were coming on here today. So
we all know we've all been affected in some way. And it's something that we've got to fight for and fight for each other.
Yep. Well, this is why we're doing what we're doing here. So
100%.
if we can help out one person, it was worth it, you know? So, yeah, I want to, I'm going to dedicate my ride to your father this year. Cause, I know what he meant to you, and I know how it's affected you and stuff like that. We kept in touch quite a bit. So, cause unfortunately I had some experience, so I could kind of relate, you know? So, we've came a long way from an overnight ride to Bowling Green for the 50th.
That was a great story. So we picked up a hitchhiker and took him all the way. We didn't even let him out.
Nope. Yeah.
And he didn't even give you gas money. He just gave you weird fenders.
Probably not.
So weird.
Yeah.
Hey, either like him or hate him, Bruce. There's no in between. Charles will
Depends.
probably
I'll withhold judgment until I see him on, covering the diamond treads.
Yeah. All right. You guys are always asking questions, so we're going to ask you one. So we're going to take a poll and a vote of who likes the front fenders and who don't. You guys are going to have to show your cards now.
Fenders or no fenders?
Okay.
Just because it's different.
So we got 3-1. Okay. What are you saying, Leroy? Yeah, he all wins.
Oops, I had my mic. I got the 2-year-old in here. That's why I gotta keep my mic muted. But
I liked him better until Ryan pointed out all the grind spots on him.
What was his? Bruce was down, right? You were down. No good.
I was down. I'll take the heat for that. It's not my thing. But you know what? I'll take the tractor any way I can get it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. We were going for different. We didn't really care what people thought. So.
The people come up and they either tell you that, that's the best thing ever. Grandpa had 3 tractors with him. Or people walk up and go, the tractor's beautiful. Why'd you mess it up with them ugly things?
It's a great conversation piece. And it
Every time.
It makes
And then he just gives him my phone number. Blame
Adam
this
had to
one.
He said, blame that guy, some dude in New York. It's his
Adam
fault.
had to polish off a lot of Bud Light cans, that's for sure.
Yep. Darn right.
We'll go to the dyno sometimes. We forget to take them off, and boss here, he gets pretty mad. We might have a towel down. They still might get a little bit of scratch, and there he is over polishing again. Or everybody don't know right. He likes everything to look wonderful. That's why the tractor looks the way it does. And you guys left the fenders on. There's marks all over.
He likes everything looking wonderful. The steering shaft broke off one night, and he was still sweeping the trailer out.
Yeah, the steering shaft broke off. He's got to mop the trailer. We're like,
I literally
the tractor, but
and the steering shaft broke off in my hand. And Brian says, well, you guys will figure it out. And he just kept on mopping the trailer. And I'm like holding the steering wheel in my hand going, we got to pull tomorrow.
We pulled in Brandenburg with no steering wheel. You guys ever heard that story?
Yeah. They picked us up and backed us up the sled, and the old NTPA guy walked over and says, what's going on? And I said, we just got a cylinder or something leaking.
The steering shaft was broke off.
We just drilled through and put a little bolt in it. The steering wheel was like this. He goes, what are we going to do? Just bump the sled? I took an extra 100 off the nose. I said, I guess I'll see you at the other end.
There you go.
And
we won.
And they said good luck.
Nice.
well, most of the time, as you watch Jacob Kessler going down the track. He's got obviously his right hand on the dead man throttle, and he's got his left hand on his left knee. Check out pictures sometime of Jacob Kessler going down the track. Very rarely does he have his left hand on the steering wheel. But you don't need it when the front end's off the ground.
Ryan had a habit early on with the big steering wheel. He'd turn the wheel, right? And we was talking like, how are we going to get past that? And I show up to the shop one day, and he had this itty-bitty little steering wheel. He goes, here, I can't turn the wheel no more. So now when he turns one time, it's not very much. It doesn't really move the wheel.
Problem solved.
Nice.
Well, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your night to join us. If you want to get wrenching on a tractor, feel free to, and we can transition into talking about Adam's fundraiser he's got coming, the Mad About Cancer deal.
Good.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
See you next week, fellas.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon, and good luck at the Pullers Championship.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, Adam, as I said in the pre-show,
Hey, Adam, I don't mean to bail on you.
glad you're here to be able to do this.
Yes, I hate to do this, but I got to bail on you, Adam. I got 2 kids I got to put to bed, but hopefully we'll see you in Nashville, Illinois next weekend.
I will not be there. We actually wanted to do this whole thing live instead of just on Facebook, and kind of make it into, a really nice live auction, have all the pullers there and really try and draw some different interest in that way. But we have a raffle going that weekend as well, the May 20th, that my brother's putting on. So I will not be able to be there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But,
well, I'll catch you down the road sometime. So
yeah,
good
absolutely.
seeing you guys. All right, we'll see the rest of you guys
right.
here in a couple weeks. All right, see you guys.
See you, buddy.
See you, Leroy.
So yeah, kind of getting back to that. I mean, originally before I even approached,
I got to refresh my screen. We don't want to show that one.
the one that didn't say
that one still said the wrong thing.
Yeah, today wasn't a good day. Made a lot of mistakes today. But so yeah, it's we have every intention of doing this live at hopefully the Pullers Championship next year, and just bringing this to do a live auction, have everybody right in front of you. If anybody's ever been to the Make-A-Wish at Bowling Green, I want to try and make it into something like that. And hospice is another one that's really a bunch of people use as well. We have family members on hospice right now that we know. So that's just another one that is really near and dear to our hearts right now. So yeah, we got 6 signs, live auction, Mad About Cancer on Facebook. So you can just head on over there, like the page. Only the post on that page will be accepted. So even if you can go on and share it, help us get the word out. Last year we raised $7,600 for our ride. And I mean, most of it was just through sharing and the right person seeing it, and just it kept going and going and going. And it, I mean, a lot of them are already at $300 to $400 currently.
Yep. So it looks like.
So yeah, I haven't checked because we've been kind of going back and forth, keeping an eye on what you guys are doing here. But yeah, it's like I said, even if you can just go on and share it, and the more people that can see it, the better right now. I mean, it was overly successful last year. I can't even believe the outpouring of pullers that came on and helped us out last year. So it was really, really neat. So we actually did a couple different ones this year. We got the IH John Deere. We got a Peterbilt sign that we did. One of my truck guys recommended, hey, why don't you do a Peterbilt sign? I was like, all right. So came up with that. We got a Massey Ferguson layered sign here. Alice Chalmers and New Holland. So they're all 3D metal art. They're all water jetted, cut on a water jet. This one's like 18 inches wide. Oh, it goes the other way, but it's all hand brushed and polished and painted. So, and it's got like a nice mount on the back so you can hang it on the wall and stuff like that.
How long are you spending on each one of these? Give everyone kind of some time on, these aren't just a one and done quick deal. I mean,
no, they're all one-offs. I mean, they're all laid out and polished, and some of them got 3D or like metallic paint on them. I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 hours on them. I mean, because they're spray painted too. I mean, it's a hand spray paint. So if there's any impurities in there, you sand them back down and get the clear flat again, spray it again, and just here, I'll take that one. I got Missy White over here helping me out. Here's the Peterbilt sign. This one is the largest one. This one is 27 inches wide, I believe, and it's like 11 and a half tall. So this one is actually the first one that I actually made on my own plasma cutter that I have. I made the Peterbilt one from scratch. This is the very first thing that came off of my machine after a little bit of swearing and cursing at it. So that one and the Massey Ferguson one were the first ones. The Peterbilt was first. Massey was the second one that I did because I asked my water jet to do them. My water jet guy, and he's like, the machine, there was a software issue or something with it, so things always broke. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Having my own machine and learning how to do a lot of this stuff and stuff like that. It's kind of cool to be on the other side of things and just having the accessibility whenever I want to do something. Just cutting a round circle as an end cap on a piece is so easy now compared to a hole saw and filling in the middle hole. And it's like, what the heck, Granted, can't do a ton still, but I'm just like all this stuff, just donations and stuff like that. So we're trying to do that, do our part to help and just do something different. Oh, don't worry. That one's already in the works.
Lance, you're gonna have to open up the wallet for that one, Lance.
Yeah. So next year it's already in the works because I have my own machine now. I do want to do a Minneapolis. What was it? An Oliver. I haven't decided which Oliver yet because there's a couple different ones. So maybe we'll do two. Who knows? And I think the Fent would be kind of neat and kind of spice it up and do something a little different with that. So, I mean, those tractors that have between Lance and April's Ladwigs, holy cow, they're just awesome. I mean, you see like the Vultures and stuff like that overseas, and they're just unbelievably looking. The tractors we got here coming out are just amazing. I wish I could have been at Farm Show this year to see that because it was just awesome. What else do we got? Is there another one? Yeah, so the AC sign. So last year that I actually did them in like 2 layers. So I did the silver and then the top. So I actually made some backing plates just to give it a little bit extra depth there on some of them. And like I said, they got like a 3D paint or pearl metallic on some of them as well. So got this one fixed up a little bit today after I scratched it with a screwdriver, putting it together like an idiot.
Oops.
And there's the John Deere one. So the John Deere one is kind of cool because I don't know if you can see this here. I can offset it a little bit and get stuff
cool.
So it's kind of offset. This is one of the ones that I can do that with just because of the design.
It jumps out.
of the, so it's actually like almost jumping off of the.
Yeah, the shadow moves around with it. That's cool.
Yeah, kind of cool. Like I said, probably I would say 3 to 4 hours between cutting, painting, polishing, and everything else. Yeah, in there somewhere. So, and then even for the meat raffle that we got going on the 20th, we got a really nice Buffalo Bills sign that I made. Something a little different there.
Second year you've done that, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, and then actually for the hockey fans,
actually the Sabres?
Yeah. Sabres one too.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. So I actually took a photo of one of the jerseys when I went to one of the games, and they kind of put like a really nice inlay on the Buffalo. So I took a photo of it and I laid my iPad next to me when I was doing it and tried to get it as close to what they had it as I could. And it turned out, after I got done, I was like, holy cow. Like I sent Charles the video of me doing the John Deere, like a time lapse of it. It's like, how? I don't know. You just get in a zone where you just go. I mean, and I do a little bit at a time because you can't really, like I said, I can't really do a whole ton, but yeah, it's pretty crazy to be able to do that stuff.
Did you ever think you would be doing this type? I mean,
no.
Start?
No, not really. I mean, last year I made all those. Yeah, here. So I made all those signs to hang in my house. I was going to hang them. I was going to build a bar downstairs before I got sick, and I was going to hang them in my house. You know, I could have all my tractor pull models with a bunch of 3D cool looking signs there and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So
why don't we take it back up a step? Adam, tell us kind of the abbreviated version of your story, because there's got to be somebody out here who has not seen an interview with you yet, doesn't know who the heck you are, and when you say I got sick, they don't know what that means.
And I say I got sick because I mean it is a disease, a sickness. I mean, when you have cancer, it's not a lot of times it's not taking in a medicine and you're getting better. This has been an 18-month ongoing thing all day, every day. Yeah. Well, if Bradish stops Snapchatting me, maybe I could get some work done.
I was about to say, you should probably stop and talk a little smack. I don't know who Bradish is, but
he's got the M80
man smoking meats.
Yeah, the M80 Super Stock.
Gotcha. Okay.
1066, yeah. So that, yeah. Well, between him and the guy that helps him, Darren Jones, geez, them two are always talking to me. Great dudes, though. So, yeah, I mean, going back to getting sick, it all started 2020-ish. I mean, I rolled over in bed one morning and fractured my spine and my back. We didn't know what the heck it was. I always had back issues, stuff like that. So, just tons of meds and stuff like that. And, oh, you'll be fine. You just a normal back thing. Well, it kept happening. So I've fractured my spine 2 times after that. And then my doctor's like, something else is going on. We don't know what it is. So order emergency MRI, yada, yada, yada. Bunch of specialists, stuff like that. And they just saw all kinds of crap all over my bones. So multiple myeloma, which I ended up getting diagnosed with, is a cancer of the plasma cells. So the plasma cells, your body overproduces these cells, and then they have nowhere to go. Your body can't filter them out, and they build up on your bones. And in return, they just leach your bones and turn them into Swiss cheese. So hence why I had back fractures. And it was up till then, I mean, I was working full time. I was lifting 200-pound cylinders at work. I mean, I was trying to live a normal life. what's saying that one of those days I lifted something and twisted and my back just snapped? I mean, I roll over in bed one day to get up for work and it lets go. I mean, thank God that's when it happened, you know? So, I mean, looking back, there's a lot of, I definitely have people watching over me, you know, just for the series of everything and how it happened. So then as far as going to Roswell and stuff like that, this is obviously the place that we're raising the money for. We're doing a 20-mile bike ride to support the Cancer Institute here in Buffalo, New York, and that's who we're trying to raise the money for, because all that money goes towards research, towards new therapies and stuff like that, and they are really doing a lot of really good stuff, which leads me up to this. They tailored a program right towards me to get me into remission in just under 6 months. So, and a lot of that has to do with the funds that are raised with this Ride for Roswell that we're helping support. So in those 6 months, they got me into a super deep remission. They harvested my stem cells, and I had a complete stem cell transplant. So what they do is they completely wipe my immune system completely out, and give me back the stem cells with that very low, deep remission. I mean, with next to no cancer in it at all. And 18 months later, I'm still at the same spot I was 18 months when I first came out of the hospital. So, I mean, I'm living proof of where those funds are going and why we're trying to raise those crucial funds for this. There are tons of great hospitals in the country that are just huge and so many supported, but my doctors gave me a choice on where to go, and I said, I'm going here. I mean, I'm 20 minutes away. Everything's close. If something happens, I mean, everybody there was so awesome. I mean, it's not even like a patient to doctor relationship. It's almost like patient to friend. I mean, one of my best friends actually goes or works there, and she got me hooked up with the best doctors in the facility. So, like, to this day, I still talk to them. I still on Facebook or through a text, or I mean, it became a family. So it was very relatable to the whole pulling field. It's pretty crazy, and I don't know how they do it, because I mean, a lot of the people that my nurses and stuff were younger than I am, and I was like, I think they said the third youngest person with multiple myeloma that was in that hospital. So where it came from, we don't know. And I think that's the hardest part for me, is not knowing, because what's saying that I got weeds in my yard and I'm spraying Roundup. You don't know. I mean, Roundup is one of the side effects that could be that, or you never know. I mean,
right.
So you just really gotta be careful with what you're doing, and just, I mean, as far as being back in the shop, wearing a respirator if I'm grinding, or just if I'm spraying paint, wearing a mask, and just even going out to, it's totally changed everything as far as socially being able to do things, as far as going to sporting events. And like, I probably would have been to Louisville and Keystone this year, but my immune system's just not up to it, because I'm still on maintenance drugs every month. Well, I was every 2 weeks. I was getting a maintenance drug, just a shot in my belly to just keep everything down at bay, because there is no cure for what I have. So, yeah, it's definitely been an interesting ride, and it's every day. I mean, whether it's getting out of your truck or just lifting up something. I mean, I am on a 20-pound weight weight limit. They don't want me to pick up any more than 20 pounds because the cancer ate away a couple parts of my vertebrae and stuff. So, I mean, it's really, like I said, and it is an everyday deal. I used to be able to go out and do whatever the heck I wanted, cut down trees, and, now it's like, we just had trees cut down in the yard because I couldn't do them. And it's like 4 or 5 years ago, I would have been up on a lift, climbing the trees and all that stuff. So it's definitely changed a lot of things. But I don't think it's for the bad, because we're trying to do something good with what happened. And last year our team raised $32,000 as a team. This year we have a 15-member team. We've already raised about $7,000, and we're looking to get about $33,000, because if we hit our $33,000 goal, we will raise $100,000 in 3 years for Roswell Park Cancer Institute. So that is our goal this year as a team, to raise that 33 number, because I think we'd probably be one of the fastest teams to raise that in that amount of time. As it was, my brother raised the first year that he came to me and says, "Hey, I want to ride this in memory of you." I said, well, I was just going to kind of keep it on the DL, and I was just going to kind of fight this deal on my own. But then he came to me and said, "This is what I want to do." I said, "Let's go." So, I mean, you guys remember, it was just like all over the place. I mean, we raised like 10 grand in one day. It was so awesome. So yeah, it's just another way that the pulling community is so amazing, and just been so kind, and everybody. I mean, Ryan texting me all the time, and Ryan Anderson too, and everybody's reaching out and just, "Hey, how's it going?" Tiger Pullman's another one, because they do drives. He's like calling me nonstop. "Hey, what are you doing?" So, and he's always good for a talk for at least an hour or two.
At least an hour.
Yes, minimum.
So
more if he's been drinking.
Amen.
No, well, he's driving, so I hope he hasn't.
Well, yeah, exactly. Hopefully, he's only calling you while he's on the road.
I can hear the truck. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, it definitely sucks with everything that's happened, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, why me?" I'm like, let's try and make some good out of this and try and help other people, because that's what I don't know. That's just the way I was brought up. I mean, I love trying to help people. I mean, somebody calls me or asks me for camera question. All right, what do you need to know? It's just, I've always been, I mean, you get together with me on the sidelines, on the track, and be like, "You need anything?" or, whatever. It's just, I don't know. I've always tried to be that person that's always helped somebody out. And the fact that I needed help wasn't exactly the easiest thing for me to do, was to ask for help, because I've never been that. So the fact
serious
that
question for you in that vein, inhabiting the sidelines of events, I mean, that's been your life.
Yeah.
And now you're deprived that. How have you kept your head screwed on right and stayed positive? Because that's maybe something that's probably the aspect that maybe is talked about the least and maybe the hardest.
Yeah. I mean, mainly my family. My wife has just been absolutely freaking
We're cuckoo.
crazy.
Missy, get in the camera shot so we can say hi.
Oh boy. She's doing a cross stitch thing.
I don't care. I watch people do cross stitch at
I'm doing my
Gordyville.
mental health awareness right now.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, really, between Missy and my whole family, and just trying to, like, I tried to only think about it when I was at the hospital. And I know it wasn't always possible, but that's just kind of the way that I did it. And then once that I got better, well, not better, but once I got back where I could actually walk or exercise, I would go for a 6-mile walk every day just to channel that. I mean, it could be snowing, raining. I'd put a freaking rain gear on. I would, because that's all I could do. I couldn't go into the shop and work. I couldn't work. So like literally I was just like Forrest Gump, man. I would just run every day, you know? So that's, and then Roswell, the place where I'm at, they started an exercise program that I started doing. So I started doing that every 2 weeks or every twice a week. Yeah, it just little things like that has really just kept me going. And then just trying to plan on what we'd want to do to try and go bigger and better and make this the whole auction thing bigger and better, and then helping my brother with the raffle that he's doing. And it's quite the undertaking. That's for sure. But I would say my wife and my family and my friends have definitely been my sanity through it. And because it's not an easy thing to go through every day. I mean, it was easy going to work every day from 7 to 3:30 and then coming home and just relaxing. But I mean, you still go to doctor's appointments all the time, and you still worry about hurting yourself if you do the wrong thing. And I was telling you earlier, last week I hurt my back just doing something stupid.
Yep.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you got to keep in the back of your mind, but having a hell of a support system is the best part of it. You know, it's the same thing with the mental health stuff or anything else. Having somebody to talk to all the time definitely goes a long way.
Yeah.
So, and being open with about it. I 3 years ago, I would never even dreamed of being on a show like this talking about something serious. We'd be on here just
we'd be cutting up
the whole time.
Yeah, BSing and having fun.
You know, I hate talking about serious stuff. I'd rather be doing that, you know? So, but yeah, like, I mean, if somebody's been listening to us for a while and they just jumped in a little late, we do have a sign auction going on the Mad About Cancer Facebook page. We're auctioning off 6 signs that go, and 100% of the proceeds go towards the Ride for Roswell here in Buffalo, New York. International, Alice Chalmers, Peterbilt, Massey Ferguson, John Deere, and then New Holland sign. They're all aluminum, 3D, hand polished and hand painted. They all have a mounting bracket that'll hang on your wall as well.
I'm seeing some 450s in there.
I mean, they look good. They look good in person, or they look good on camera. But like Mike Cal came over here, in spending your inheritance mini mod, they came over here and picked some stuff up, and I had a couple of them laying in the shop. He's like, I saw your photos on Facebook and they look good, but he's like, you see these things up close? He's like, holy cow, these things are amazing. So like, I'm one of those ones where I still see imperfections in it. I was like, yeah, I could do it better here. I could do better there. But then I still look at it and it's like, how in the heck can I do that? You know? So yeah, it's definitely kind of cool. You know, and like I said, thanks to you guys for having me on. We really pushed this through last year and we really made a huge difference. I know that. So if we can keep doing that, keep sharing, keep pushing this along and get it bigger and better every year and hopefully live next year. I mean, I'd love to do that. I just think that would really be a really neat thing to do. I mean, I got tons of t-shirts back there we can make into quilts and do all kinds of cool stuff, you know? So hit up Corey Massel, have him make another tractor or something, little pedal tractors or something. And, you know, we all know tons of people that can just turn it into something just insane. So, that's really all I have. I mean, if you guys got any questions for me or anything else, I'd have at it because I mean, it's just being on here is cool.
Well, let's shift gears and do some of that tractor pull BS, and then what's What's
Wait,
coming up
hold
for
on.
ESP?
Hold on. Let's not do this yet. I know some of you who are watching, I texted last year, and I texted some of you against each other.
Don't make me do it again.
Now is your chance to get back at whoever I mentioned in the text. Ryan Anderson, I'm talking to you. Schlaubaugh, you know the deal. Make it happen, boys. And for those of you who maybe you can't afford to play in that game and throw down $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 bid, that doesn't mean you can't goad somebody else into doing it.
Yeah.
Somebody get a hold of Don Slama. I don't think he got one last year, did he?
Slama did. He got the
well,
deer.
he needs one. He needs one for another bathroom in his house.
There you go. Thank you, Travis. We definitely appreciate it, man.
And I mean, we all know guys and girls and competitors, our friends and loved ones who bleed those colors. Somebody knows, somebody knows some diehard orange people. Heck, we all know diehard orange people.
Yeah,
Heck, we've been picking on
scary.
Shane Maston all night. We may as well pick on him one more time.
There you
Shane,
go.
shake that wallet open.
There you go.
So even if you can't, here's what you can do. Go to Mad About Cancer. Take those posts, share them, and before you just blindly just share to my story, share to my timeline, go to the option, I think it's share to my timeline, because that lets you actually make a comment, tag somebody in it.
Yeah.
Tag multiple people in it. Get them bidding against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Cody and I will, I guarantee you, Cody and I will mount a serious campaign at Brent Roberts.
Oh, he's already tagged.
I know. I tagged him once. I hope you did too.
Didn't Schultz and Giese have something going last year?
Yep.
I
think we need to get back on that train.
Oh, yes, I 100% agree. I think we just, I think we just need to start, calling out names.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't be ashamed to do that.
I mean,
this isn't begging. This is.
I could make a band concert tonight. Tomorrow. You won't see this till tomorrow morning, so feel free to throw bus tracks right all over them.
Yeah, right.
Man, can anyone? Hey, Kenzie, if you're watching, he left a browser open somewhere. Make it happen. There'll be four $7,000 bids on at least four of them.
We just call it a proxy bid, right? Proxy bid. We just call it a proxy bid.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
But seriously, folks, share it. Please do that. Tag some people. Cancer has affected every single one of us.
Yeah.
It's affecting me right now. My father-in-law is in stage 4 cancer. And, the chemo is kind of working, kind of not. And I know that I'm not the only one who's dealing with this right now. I guarantee you somebody watching this show has somebody that they love who's near and dear to them, who's in hospice or will be within months. I mean, it's a sad fact and a sad reality, and it sucks. But with the research that hospitals like Roswell are doing, we will kick cancer's ass in our lifetime.
I agree.
And you can help make a difference, even if you don't open your wallet. You can make a difference if you can get it out there so that people can see that this is happening. Not many. I mean, we all know Adam. We've known him for years. But Adam doesn't know 100,000 people. But I guarantee you that within, I don't know how many people are watching right now, but if we added up everybody's friends and we took out the dupes, the overlaps, guarantee we're at close to 100,000, if not more. You think we can't get Adam's signs up to 5 digits? You are 100% wrong.
Yeah.
Let's do it this year.
My goal, honestly, is to have like businesses bidding against each other. Like
100%.
And then I'm not saying that trying to be cocky or whatever. I found that, like we don't all have a lot of expendable stuff, but I mean, a business could come in and, oh, it's a tax write-off. You know what I mean? They're like, all right. But it's
had to redecorate the conference room.
So, but it's getting it to that level. Like, how do we do that? Like making a poll bigger. How do we get it to that next level? Like, just to kick it up to that next notch. So I think if we all work together and we keep just plugging along, that's how we're going to do this.
Yep.
And all it takes is one person to see it. That right person to see it, and then it's just going to skyrocket, you know? So that's huge. It's going to happen. I'm just, you never know when you do stuff, but I know I got the best team working on it too. So, because I'm only one person, but we put all of us on the task.
Yep.
Now I got an army. You know what I mean?
yeah, but it starts with somebody with the drive and with the talent. We all may have the drive. Ain't none of us got the talent that you do on metal.
I'll teach you.
No, you won't. I won't learn. I'm not that good a student. Guaranteed.
Nope.
You've seen how long it took me to take some of your advice with photos. I've known you since 2017.
Yeah, right.
There's still some advice of yours that you've given me that I still probably haven't taken to your satisfaction. Quit shaking your head, damn it.
The man can sharpen a knife, but don't give him anything else. That's all I'm saying.
Right?
Same with me.
It's the Bardstown.
I was going to ask you, what's in your glass tonight?
An old fashioned. So when we went to the distillery a couple weeks ago, they had pre-made old fashions that you could buy. They were like $13 or something. All right, I'll try it. They're not half bad. Throw a couple maraschino cherries in there, and you're good to go.
Where? Which distillery?
Bardstown.
Oh, okay.
At the gift shop, they had them there.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they're actually not half bad. So they're just pre-made old fashions. They're nothing. It doesn't even say what they are on. They can't be that crazy because I've already drank 2 of them. Well, it's servings is 2. So yeah, I mean, it can't be that nuts. I mean, I haven't stood up yet either. Anyway, no.
Sorry, Missy. I know you got to, he's got your responsibility hands. Once the camera turns off.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh man, but yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys got the Pullers Championship coming up here in a couple weeks, and then everybody's just got a full plate throughout this. I know I called Charles, to do some announcing for him. He's like, dude, I'd love to, but I just can't. I'm like, come on. So
keep doing it though, because one of these years I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, you'll get there. No, it'll be fun. Just everybody. I mean, with Dan Mayer moving, it makes things really difficult out our way. I mean, we got a couple guys but it's like we don't have that full-time voice that we need. Not saying that you're going to make the trek from Michigan for 18 hooks either, but
it's a nice dream.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I think Neighbor's going to come over and do a couple.
Is he?
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. I offered him a place to stay, and he said, "Yeah, I might be able to make the." I didn't realize how close he lived to Detroit, though.
Oh, he's real close.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So I kind of felt bad when I asked him. And he's like,
even literally as the crow flies from downtown Detroit to his place and to mine, like we're about the same distance away from downtown Detroit.
Gee, that's crazy. Huh. Well, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, everything's, and I will get to Rockwell one year. I don't know when, but we'll get out there eventually.
Open invite. You know it.
I know. I got to get there. I mean, there's so many places that I want to go. It's just with ESP because I shoot Empire State Pullers as my primary gig here. So when we do that, I mean, we're pretty much tied down most of the summer.
Are you making most of the shows?
Yes. Yeah, I try to.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what the doctor said. As long as you're outside, it's not as bad. Indoors, you got to kind of be careful. But because I like to talk to people. I'll just walk up to people and talk to that I don't even know. I mean, the one Bills game, we're over there talking, and because I only live 4 or 5 minutes from the Bills stadium here. So we're at the one game and we're all sipping bourbon. People walk over and we're start chatting, and they're all into bourbon. I'm like, well, what do you want that you've never had? Well, do you have any Elmer T. Less? I don't have it here, but I'll call my wife. She'll bring it down for me. She did.
Loser wife.
So,
Nothing to do on a Sunday.
yeah, it's crazy, man. But is there any videographers that shoot?
Yeah.
Videographers, there's Kenyan Clips that shoot ESP, and Harold Card does NYTPA stuff. I believe that he started doing video last year.
Yeah,
or
I
the
think
year
so.
before. That he's been doing stuff, but other than that, I don't really know. There's tons of photographers out there, but video people out my way are very scarce. Which it seems.
Yeah, there's a couple of YouTube channels where they're fans in the stands, but they're not on the track.
Nothing
Yeah,
professional. I see some cell phone stuff every once in a while, but I don't see a lot of tons of photographers though. I mean, we got me, Jeff Lucky, Harold Card, JR from Eastern Extreme comes up once in a while. Then there's a bunch of new ones. I don't know their names. I know I've talked to them and I just don't recall their names. But them are the big ones that stick out with me that all kind of help me get to where I am is on the photography side of things. So, and now I just get to help other people out too. So it's kind of cool. I mean, to see stuff come around full circle in the last 12, 13 years has been kind of neat. So, been to hell of a lot of polls, met tons and tons of amazing people, and had a blast everywhere. We try and have fun everywhere we go. And one of the things that I like to do, I don't know if you guys like, but being a photographer, I get to walk the track and talk to people. And that's always been one of the things that I love to do. So I asked a lot of the locals if we're going to be staying around a day or two, what's the best local place to go and eat? We want to support local places, stuff like that. Yeah. So I love to eat. So, and I'd rather support a local place than not that chains aren't good. Don't get me wrong. If I want good chicken fingers, I'll go to Chili's every time, or whatever. But I really like supporting local businesses and stuff like that. And I mean, being in Buffalo, you guys have been here before. There is not a shortage of food and good food around here. So, especially chicken fingers or chicken wings, sorry, with blue cheese and not ranch, by the way.
100% on team blue cheese there.
All right, good. At least I got a thumbs up from Ryan on that one and not the Fenders. What the heck? No.
Can't please everybody all the time.
No,
you know me. We've talked about it. We've had the Fenders.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah, no.
However,
I like them because they're different.
If Ryan did actually put big fatty boom batty diamond treads and big wide fenders,
yeah,
that would just be cool.
Right. Yeah,
we'd have to paint the tractor orange because Alice is, they're the ones who get away with that. But
yeah,
still, it is what it is.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So what's your? I've never asked you. If you could go pulling in anything, have you ever gone down the track in anything? You ever drive anything?
Yep.
What have you driven?
Super Farm, 4455 Deer, and a big block Mini, naturally aspirated. And
okay, I love you. Stuff. You know I love you, but You fit yourself into a Mini?
Yeah.
There is hope for me.
I have photos. It wasn't pretty, but I got in it. I'm not as tall as you are, though, either.
You're also not as wide as I am.
Well,
but we'll leave it at that.
You haven't seen me in a while now.
All right,
I got a brisket to cook up tomorrow, so
nice.
I'll reheat for tomorrow.
Nice. You're gonna catch hell from Bradish about that.
That's fine.
Yeah, it happens.
We already saw it cooking on Sunday.
He's gonna find out about it. Adam didn't say he was gonna share it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He won't even come up here and hook with us. You know what the heck? We got super stocks, and
I know
he can hook up here all summer long now.
I love the fact that Adam is talking trash. That is fantastic.
I gotta call him out because I call him out all the time on it. So why not do it on
100%.
national Facebook Live?
100%. So if you could take anything down the track, past or present,
yeah,
what would you drive, and where would you drive it? I think I may know the answer, but I want to hear it from you.
I would say my first. I mean, because I have I probably have one for every class, just because as a kid growing up, I had my favorites, but now that I'm into the media side of things, I'm more well-rounded and more open. I don't per se have favorites. So I would say as a fan growing up, one of my favorites always, and that was just because we were the same age, was Jordan's The Silver Bullet. Just because when they used to come to Hamburg, New York every year, the first time he would have pulled, he would have been 16, I think. And the announcers, this is his first year pulling. He's 16 years old. And I was probably 15 at the time or whatever. I'm like, holy crap, that's so cool. So me and my cousin used to go down with the tractor from the farm and do towbacks there. So we, he used to go and pull the guys across the scales and stuff like that. So we got to meet all of them stuff. And back then it was like, how we all were, starstruck type deal. Yeah. And it's like, holy crap, because when you're younger, I mean, you think of the guys as like football, baseball, untouchables. But then when you get behind it, and now you got people calling you and texting you and stuff like that you always looked up to. It's the other side of things. So,
so the Bullet in Hamburg, is that what I'm catching here?
That would be neat. Yeah, the Bullet in Hamburg would be very neat. I mean, Bowling Green would be obviously amazing. Any vehicle there. Geez. I mean, I don't even know where to start there.
Special.
I mean, the special was always a favorite.
That's where I thought you were going.
I mean, the special.
What I was thinking.
Dude, it's like the gears are turning, but you can't talk because there's so much going on up there. It's like, how do you pick one out of 10,000? Seriously. I mean, it's so difficult.
It's easy. The special.
Yeah, I mean, Thumper and Allison mod would be amazing. Money Pit with triple Allisons, or what would be really neat, like now, would be that Gators tractor overseas. Or it's got twin V12s on it, I want to say.
It's Allison with like roots blowers on them, like 14.7.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
That'd be cool to do.
Yeah.
Wayne Longneckers, back when it was the Griffin, now
yes.
I can't remember who owns it now, but
Zuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's badass. I just like different stuff. Like, like somebody just pushes it to the next level, extreme, just different. Jason Hoopman with the Commander making that thing run just like crazy. Sucks we won't see that thing out this year, but I mean,
I heard you kept the medal though.
He did keep the medal from what I was told. So yeah, it'll be a John Deere this year, which it's all good, but it's still going to be a Ford. So it'll have that motor in it, as far as I know. So that's going to be really cool. So yeah, like I said, there is so many. I could pick one from every class, honestly. I mean, going to the Hamburg Pull and watching Mastersons go against Boyd's and Campbell. I mean, just as a 12, 13-year-old going and seeing the guys that, and they're still pulling, nowadays. And I mean, the original pro stocks, we couldn't wait for the pro stocks to come to Hamburg every year because we didn't get to see them at all. I mean, up in this region, pro stocks,
not a lot of pros up
really
there.
Not a thing. So yeah, when you see pro stocks as a kid, you're like, holy crap, can't wait, and that's so I've always been a huge pro stock fan. Just because of that, just because of the sheer power and the insane RPMs that they get out of a diesel motor. And now the diesel supers are even crazier. They just took it up to the next level now too. So I mean, now them guys are just getting stupid RPMs. It's like, what in the heck? I mean, yeah, there's so many. I mean, they're still turning. Literally, my head's like ready to explode.
I'm sorry for your insomnia. Missy, what about you? Is it the special at Langford?
Yeah. That's what I would have to say.
It is pretty cool deal when they bring that thing out on the team of horses.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Goosebumps. You cry.
Yeah, that's really cool to see.
Yeah. That's one of the few that I've ever experienced that was like that. Can you repeat the NYTPA's video guy?
I already texted him that.
Oh, Harold Card, yeah.
Mr. Card.
So I think propullingphoto.com is
I think you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna try and do a couple NTPA hooks this year too. They're still trying to get a lot of stuff ironed out with a couple different people exiting, and they're trying to get a couple things ironed out as far as that stuff goes too. So kind of been in some talks with them and stuff. So we'll see where that goes. But Empire State, I'll be running their Facebook page, posting a bunch of wrong stuff like I did all day today. Yeah. With this auction, I've just been like, it's been crazy. So, and there's just been a lot of stuff going on here too. So, oh man, has anybody ever asked you that question, Ryan?
Yeah, and I've deflected, and I'll do it, and I'll do the same. I don't know what I would drive.
Yeah, what if Missy asked?
You got to answer for me, please.
Sorry, honey. I can't do it. I really can't. I mean, the truth of the matter is, all of you pullers, and I love you all dearly, most of you, all of you, are clinically insane. Here's the thing. Even though I, the way I phrase that question is, you don't have to pay for it if you break it. I don't have 1 ounce of driving skill.
I've rode with the man. I can vouch.
Shut your mouth.
There you go.
I don't have 1 ounce of driving skill. It has been 20 years plus since I've driven a tractor, and the last one I drove was a John Deere 430. 2-banger.
Nice.
So the God's honest truth, I don't know what the hell I would drive. I wouldn't. I'd drag them up with a gator, but no. And furthermore, the thing is, if I were to take one down the track and have any success and the motor actually held together, I 1000% guarantee you I would be bankrupt within 8 months.
Yep.
And that's what I don't need and don't want, because I'm not a wrench. I can't wrench to save my life. I mean, believe it or not, there is a worse wrench than Jason Schultz. And that's me. So no, I don't need to do that. Someone just texted me and says, "Come on down, I'll put you in a tractor." No, Mark. I don't want to wreck a gearbox. So I'd rather be the guy who catches those moments once in a lifetime. Once in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, it's definitely an amazing feeling.
I have been down the track one time.
Yeah.
It was with Jeff Swanson. He needed somebody to hold the laptop. This was back in Michigan in 2008. And Eric Merchant had just finished building him a 2.8 Duramax truck. So it was a 2.8 class, which eventually I think became the 3.0.
Yeah.
Or they backed down and went to work stock. And Jeff had a nice GMC truck. He basically gave a blank check to Eric, said make it win, and Eric did. And but to get it dialed in, he needed to get some data on it, and he didn't want his laptop bouncing on the seat. So he found the biggest guy he could and stuffed him in the shotgun seat and said, "Make sure this doesn't hit the floor," which I did. Cheers. But that is the one and only time I've ever been on a pulling. I've been down a pulling track other than, riding on a support vehicle.
Yeah.
So I just don't want that drug in me.
Yeah. It's
bad.
It's bad.
Uh-huh. I know. And now I know of at least two guys who have gone down the track in a pulling vehicle, and they're both on the top half of your screen, and they just both said drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah. No, it ain't good.
So I would rather buy some camera gear and catch my best friends doing what they love to do on the weekends. That is legit my answer.
That's a good one.
I know mine.
I know mine.
I know mine because I am bound and damn determined to get this damn vehicle in I've had dreams about this. Because I never
Same.
Huh?
Same.
I don't
know. I'll bet they're different vehicles, but yes, I've had the same dreams.
Yeah. No, I mean,
who's yours?
Huh?
Who's yours?
Smoking Hot Deer in Bowling Green, but that perfect 3/4 shot with the Bowling Green. Like, I've never seen that tractor hook outside. I've always only seen that hook in Louisville.
You want to know what's even cooler than seeing that tractor at Bowling Green? Seeing it make an exhibition pass in Marengo, Iowa, in front of 500 people that just absolutely lose their effing minds.
Yeah.
When they see pitch black smoke coming out of the stacks.
Yeah.
Lose their minds. Travis, that is one of the most brilliant ideas you have ever had, inviting all of your super stock buddies, and I think it's a shame that more of them don't show. Anyway, off my soapbox, but you got an open invite to that one too, because I'll drive you there, and I'll.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we'll drink bourbon afterwards, and I've got a guest room right over there.
You don't have to ask me twice about that. I got carrying cases, so
there you go.
But yeah, that would be mine. I mean, I've literally probably. I mean, there's so many. I mean, even Goodwin this year, I got to see him run at the Underlay this year. That was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was really neat because I've seen his tractors run through people that have bought them, but I've never seen actually Matt pull. So that was really, even getting a chance to go talk to him and stuff like that at the Underlay last year was really neat.
Matt's a good dude, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. There's just that's another one. There's so darn many of them, but like most of them I've probably shot. I mean, like the Allisons, I've got Top Gun, Money Pit. I mean, I've got all those. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've gotten money shots on all of them, but I've got to see a lot of who I've always wanted to see. I mean, most like New Holland. I mean, if I can see a bunch of my New Holland, because I'm a blue guy. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple, but like going to Gordyville, I got to see a ton of them back.
Yeah.
You know, when it was still there. So, isn't the demon
Screaming Demon?
Oh yes.
No, that is not in New York. That is
not in PA.
It's not in PA anymore because I know it got sold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall where it is now. I don't know.
I've been told that it's either in Missouri or Iowa.
That sounds correct.
I have not been able to find out, and Mark Ulmer is continuing to be cagey. Mark, stop being cagey. But that's the one that's on my list. That's the one that has always gotten away because Jerry passed away not before I picked up a camera, but before I started like traveling. And I haven't seen that tractor make a pass in 25 years.
Really?
I think the last time I saw it was probably in Allegan, Michigan in 1997 in September.
Wow. That was
I
way
think.
back.
Yeah.
And that was at a pull that you were at, Charles.
Yep. I was there.
And we didn't know each other then, but we've figured it out since. But
yeah,
no.
I think I got to see that pull in Bowling Green, I want to say 2010, 2011. That was right before he got sick, I believe. And that might have been the last, but it was Bowling Green. I mean, I just bought my camera, so I had an 18-55 on it, and I was shooting from the very top. I mean, you couldn't make out.
So it's like a map dot, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you can tell who it is because of the way the stacks are, you know. But it's freaking crazy.
Yeah. Charles, what's yours?
I was just gonna say, Charles, what's yours?
It's not going to be a specific puller, and it's not anybody current. I would love to go back to like the earlier mid '80s and shoot one of them Silver Dome hooks.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be wicked. Oh my God, there was so many there.
Yeah.
So long as we could take today's equipment.
Yeah, right.
Back in time.
Yeah.
None of this manual line Canon or Nikon EM crap.
Yeah.
I got a whole bag of them under here.
Yeah, I know. I've got some in my office too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Any of them?
What about you, Cody?
Please.
I've got several on the list. I mean, I'm kind of with Charles. If I can go back and get a picture of art, that'd be kind of cool. After again, I'm the newbie coming into this, so I don't have the history that you guys do. But after having them on, Art and Dusty on type of thing, that'd be kind of neat to go back to that. Yeah.
I was lucky to, in period, I got to see them do it, but I wasn't taking pictures back then. I was a kid.
I think that'd be really cool. Just like the history of, the drag racing and everything that's included with that. The other one for me is going over to Europe and going to Maid Fire Weekend.
Absolutely.
I want to see some.
And all four of us just go at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, why did I not remember that?
Yeah.
We've got, it'll be more than four of us. There's a couple others who are not present tonight who would 1,000% sell their souls to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody that's went. I remember when I talked to Charlie Pelletier after he won, he said it was just amazing. Like, Like,
why do we not have radial engines over here? That just like blows my mind. Like that.
There's
On
one.
East Coast. That's it.
It's not close to me. It's close to you.
Yeah. It was actually refurbed about 2 hours from me at Kastner's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the whole atmosphere over there. Would just be kind of neat to go.
Yeah.
Once. So that's a bucket list, I guess. Pull, shoot, and everything for me.
I mean, we
How
could
about Fuchsdorf last weekend?
Looked
Seen
like
the videos
some
from that.
breakage.
Huh? Yeah.
I mean, that rabbit blew up. I mean, he put a hole in his block. There was a bunch of mods that were on fire. And look, Dennis has been doing a really good job with his photos. That Dennis Voss.
Yes, he has.
Yes. He's been killing it.
Shout out to Dennis Voss.
Heck yeah. No, he's been doing really, really good. I mean, a lot of them guys share on my page. Stephen Gortz, Dennis Voss, and there's another one. I can see it. Jan Lowe? Yes, yeah. So them guys, they've all been doing really, really good. Yeah,
how about that purple unlimited or that purple super?
Yeah, do you follow them on TikTok?
No, but I'm gonna need to look for them now.
Jokers, like they're nuts. Everything's in German, I think, so you can't understand what they're saying. But that
makes it all the better.
But they're always like dancing, and their TikTok page is hilarious.
So they're Europe's Russell Hildebrand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to pair them up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, their TikTok page is hilarious. They're always doing something. But the funny thing is they didn't. Devin.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, Riggin. Shut your mouth and enjoy it.
Just those three. I'm just a fill-in. Yeah. Surprised they don't have me blacked out yet.
Adam, you have a. Before Charles flexed a little bit, I was about to tell you that you have an open invite any damn time you want to come on this show. You do it.
Yeah, I know.
You text me, you text Charles.
Why has it been so darn long, man? But
Yeah,
I mean, literally, before we knew it, it was a year. It's been a year since the last time we've done this, obviously.
I know.
It's like, dude, the time just flies. Insane.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I remember seeing the green monster at Hamburg too, and the only reason I remember that was because the hubs and the wheels turned green. I mean, I was young, but was it? Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is in German. I don't know. They're from. What are they? Dutch?
Yeah,
maybe
either German or Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they're a riot. Super cool dudes. But
and that tractor is something else.
That is beautiful.
I don't think I somebody in the comments throw up what's the last how many purple tractors do we have out there?
Not enough.
Factory hooded ones? Not many. I mean, I can think of some mods, but
right.
They're the John Deere that ship. That's kind of a shade of purple.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
There's a Light Pro in Central Ohio 1066 that it's not all purple, but there's some in the paint.
And I know one that might in the next I don't know there might be a 5-year plan to turn it purple out of Iowa.
You're not just talking about the Snapchat filter, it turns green to purple.
No, I'm not. Sorry, but
I thought about doing that just to piss with people a little bit. Like, look at this purple tractor and see how much traction you get.
Yeah.
No, if this happens, it will be more along the lines of veteran mental health and suicide, kind of a 22 a day kind of deal.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
And I really hope and pray that it happens. I don't know. I haven't talked to the gentleman who's considering it in a while, but I hope he does it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about today. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that we've very barely mentioned.
Yep.
Give me your best Don Masterson story. Somebody.
I mean, you know mine. I mean,
no, I don't.
Well, I mean, just from the days of watching him at Hamburg, New York. I mean, it was always a staple when the pro stocks came into town. Boyd's, Mastersons. I mean, they were always high, and then being able to get trackside in Louisville and stuff like that. But that, I mean, I posted my photo of it today, but the 2019 Louisville.
Oh my God!
Last took of the year, buries it in the sand. Crowd starts chanting Don, Don, Don. I mean, how can you picture perfect the Super Bowl of tractor pulling any better than the last?
Did you see what Kyle Carlin wrote?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing.
Right? And like you said, if you
could
have been a fly on the wall, you know, because they all know. I mean, he's like just, I mean, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
But he's just always been a staple. I mean, and I think it's as a kid, the names River Rat, Tinker Toy, the names are what stuck out the most as a kid. I would say, and then obviously the success on top of that is just, and then and now the other side of it, getting to know and meet the guys, the actual person himself, just beyond humble, just, you know, there's nothing that you could, I don't even think he had a bad bone in his body. You know what I mean? Just amazing. And just loved putting on a show for people. Absolutely.
You know, they say that you should never meet your heroes.
Right.
Sometimes I got to tell you, that's utter bullshit. And it was never more true for me than the day that I got to meet Don Masterson and Kevin. And we've since become very good friends. And I'll never forget, for as long as I live, the kindness that those two guys and their team have shown me over the years. Those, I mean, they're the only reason that, I mean, they are the only reason that I am sitting here talking to any of you guys tonight. It's because I watched them as a kid and I thought they were absolute rock stars. And I still think that today. Nothing ever changed. When I met them, the first time I ever met either one of those guys was in 2017. It was after my first time at the farm show. I got a message in about, I don't know, it was about this time that year from Kevin saying, I really enjoy your pictures. And if you go back and look at my pictures, there's not much to enjoy. They're awful. But I did get one good one of Kevin looking like he's taking a nap just before he hooked. Just a, you know, kind of a quiet moment of reflection. We've all taken that shot. He said, I really enjoy those photos. And he says, that's one that nobody's ever taken of me. And I don't know if he was lying through his teeth or not. Because, you know, where you guys all know, if you've ever been to the farm show or if you've ever looked at any of our photos, you've probably seen a photo looking down the track towards the sled just before they stage. You know, they're on the hook on a telehandler and they're just kind of out there at about 100 foot, just chilling. And Kevin was just kind of relaxed and looking, you know, cool as a cucumber. And I picked off a shot and apparently he saw it. And he sent me a message, says, what's your t-shirt size? I really, really appreciate what you do. And I was blown away, still blown away. And, you know, I got a phone call from Kevin this morning. and that blew me away too. But we're not going to turn this into a rest in peace Don, because he's done. And what he's done for this sport, what he's done for the pro stock class, is amazing. Thank you for queuing this up.
Yep.
Man, they loaded that puppy up, I'll tell you. They really loaded that baby up and made a good run out of it. That sled is popping, no doubt about it. Well, you didn't think you could do it, did you? No, it's just unbelievable that Kevin and I can compete with, it's just great to be up near the front with the great tractors we're pulling with and have the support of the fans. And we got Zeneca here that takes care of the pull, and it's Riverside Engines helps us, Columbus Diesel, and it's just unbelievable the help we have, the family, and it's just great, Butch. You know what? They're going to change this name, this place, call it Masterson Hall. Well, this has been our year. Maybe Friday the 13th.
Sorry about that. I don't know how that keeps popping up there, and I don't know how to make it go away.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Don Masterson from Grant.
Butch was on to something there.
Yeah, and that was in 1998.
Masterson Hall's got a pretty damn good ring to it. I'm not going to lie.
That's incredible. 1998.
I think the earliest one I've been able to find of him there, and I don't know if this was his first year being there, was 88.
I don't think Cody realizes it, but he's shot that tractor before.
Yes, he has.
Know which one it is? It's 4-1 now.
Yeah, I can't remember. We talked about this multiple times. It's the one that's made the most passes in Louisville.
Yeah, it's probably driven a mile on that 200 and some odd foot stretch of dirt. It's the Dixie Deer now.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I've shot that a bunch of times on.
Yes, you have. All of us have.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little decal on the side of that, and I can't remember exactly what it says. It's like used and decubed or something like that. Like,
really?
Kind of a riff on used and abused
Yeah.
by Masterson Farms.
Jeez.
Which I thought that was kind of a cool detail.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I reached out to Colby Counts today and asked him, because I remember talking to him once, and he said that there was one time where he remembered when he was probably just a little kid, when the two tractors were together. And I don't know if it would have been when the Tinker Toy was wearing 8220 sheet metal or if it was wearing 7R sheet metal, but the two tractors were together. And I asked, and he's got a picture of it at home, and I asked him if there was any way he could get it to me. I wasn't going to, but the more and more I thought about it, I'm going to write this week's Interesting Iron about Don and my relationship with Don and why he's so important to the sport. So kind of tie it in that way and see how it goes.
Yeah. Never an easy
either,
one, all right.
it was either that or right about Massey 200 series. And I'm sorry, I love you guys, you Massey guys. Don Masterson is a lot cooler than a Massey 200.
End of.
Also, I did put up a picture tonight, and on my timeline, my personal timeline, and I said, "Tell me a Don Masterson story." And I have not checked it since about 7:00 tonight. I hope that there's something out there, but if you wouldn't mind, any of you who are still watching, there's all 4 of you. If you have, if you've got a Don Masterson story, tell me. I'd like to hear it. I would really like to hear it. And that goes for all you guys.
Yep. Shame on me. Over the years, I have not really forged a relationship with them at all, and that's not on them. That's on me that I haven't done that. But everything I hear secondhand and the tribute that's pouring out today tells me what a very good person that he really was.
And we had him on the show one time. It was the night before, it was 2 days before the farm show in 2020. And I wasn't able to get on because I was,
before I was doing it.
I was en route. Actually, I was in Louisville at the time.
Were you like super sick that year?
That was the year that I got sick. I was not there for Don's final pass on the track. Yeah. And it killed me. Well, damn near really killed me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason Misty Lustig calls me patient 0. I had COVID before COVID was. I had COVID before COVID was cool.
I think you did. You had to.
I 100%. I'm sure of it. Absolutely, 100% sure of it.
Crap! I couldn't even believe you were there. I mean, you were white as a damn ghost. I was like, dude, you should not even be here right now.
Yeah, I probably should have been in a hospital.
Yeah.
But there, but for the grace of God, I'm here to tell the tale. Yeah, I did miss Don's last pass in Freedom Hall and his last pass on the tractor, but I was there for 2019. Holy cow. I've never heard and you were there standing right next to me. I have never heard a crowd react quite the same way.
No.
And Jeremy Krieger sent me a video that I think he might have taken. It's on YouTube. It was from the driver's right-hand side of the track, probably about halfway down, and it was up right near the suites. And because you could see the shadow from the upper deck. And Butch and Dave, especially Butch, really nailed the call and brought the crowd to their feet.
Yeah.
And I remember that. I remember that crowd getting to their feet as Don was bringing up the RPMs. And boy, when he let when the hammer dropped, there was no arguing.
No.
I mean, you knew by the time he got to 30 feet.
Yeah,
he was going to put that thing in the sand.
Yeah, that thing hooked up instantly.
Yes.
I mean, that was one of the first times that I've seen a tractor hook up that quick. And like watching the tractors at home this year, like the Light Pro class, I think it was this year, them tractors were hooked by 20 foot. It was insane. And that's how that was that night. That tractor hooked, picked the front end up, and it didn't hit it till it hit the sand.
Yep. And Jack Wishmeyer's self-fulfilling prophecy came true. Jack leaned over to, for those of you who didn't see this thread on social today, Jack and Kyle Carlin and Russ Yoder and somebody else were in the top 3 in the winner in the corner at Louisville that night. And apparently, as Kyle tells the story, Jack leaned over to Kyle and said, "We're about to get our asses whooped by a 79-year-old man." And I'll be damned if he didn't do it. Yes. We have sound. Do we have sound on this, Charles?
Maybe Charles has sound on his side, not on ours.
Okay, well then, Cody, you're in charge of making tractor noises. Go.
I don't think that's happened real well.
You can see the crowd here getting to their feet, and it just continues. The second he lets out that clutch and pushes the throttle forward, people get up, and it's like a slow motion wave. Watch.
Yeah. Holy cow. Insane.
And the sound is so good from that clip. Charles, how was it on your end? Did you enjoy that sound?
It wasn't going down the line to you guys?
No.
What the hell?
It's okay. Cody made tractor noises the whole way down. It was cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you guys were hearing it. My bad.
Negative.
I don't know why that one didn't and all the rest did, but whatever.
Anyway, but if you wouldn't mind, if you've got a good interaction or a noteworthy interaction in your life with Don or Kevin, drop it into that thread, would you? It'd just be cool to see all of those kind of dropped into the same place. So,
well, I think I'm officially out of gas.
Yeah, it's been.
Me too.
It's been a ride, man. We've been all over the place today.
Yes, we have. We even touched different continents. I'm impressed with us. How cosmopolitan are we?
Yeah, you bring a New Yorker into the mix and we go overseas. I see how it is now.
Like we can't go there by ourselves. We have to have somebody.
Yeah, now and we made plans to go to Maine. What the heck?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just a bunch of Midwestern dummies who, eat wings with ranch. We needed some culture.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I mean,
Adam,
it's
make a commitment. Make a commitment to us.
We definitely got to do it.
You'll come on the show. We're not waiting a year to do this.
No, I really hope not. I don't want to wait a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Midsummer, we're going to get you on. We want to hear how things are going out your way.
Yeah, we'll do like a mid-season report there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. No, yeah.
Or heck, if you want to jump in next week and give us an early season report, you can do that too.
I want to talk to you the week after you have Neighbor do a couple of those shows.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have my Czech liver light flashing. That dude drinks.
Shut up, Adam. I've seen your bourbon collection. Your Czech liver light is blinking already.
No, you haven't met Neighbor.
Okay.
Is he worse than Tiger?
He likes to have fun. He likes tractor pulling, but he likes to have fun. And him and Drew are two peas in a pod.
Oh yes.
Oh Lord, have
Let's
mercy.
just
That's terrifying.
put it that way. When them two got together, you knew you were going to be up all night.
Oh boy.
The sun was coming up and you were watching it. So, just put it that way.
You might be cross-eyed when you're watching it, but you're going to watch it.
Not any more than they would have been.
Yeah,
right.
True.
Exactly.
No, it was a hell of a time. I mean, there was never a dull moment. I mean, them two just threw stories back and forth all night. Just I mean, you didn't have to get a word in. You just sat and watched and just they stole the show. I mean, and you didn't have to do sit-ups for the next year and a half because you laughed so hard.
Yeah. True. All true.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a heck of a ride today. I mean, yeah, I think we did well, and we can keep sharing and keep pushing this a little bit more tomorrow here, and we'll keep seeing where she goes. I mean, Because like I didn't even share it on my personal page yet because I'm kind of letting it filter because I want to be able to share more tomorrow too. Because we want to keep pushing here a little bit at a time, I think so.
I am not going to be there this year.
I doubt it.
I won't be there.
I'm undecided. I don't even know how the heck to get in there anymore. I haven't been there since the 50th with Ryan. So Anderson, I mean, when we drove all night. Yeah, I haven't been to bowling since the 50th. Well, because I was president of ESP for a couple years, and then all that. Then I was vice president, so I just stayed back home and stuff like that. I do want to get back there again because I've heard it's just crazier and bigger and better than it ever was. So it's definitely a place I want to get back to eventually, and it'll happen. I mean, patience. That's all there is to it. You know.
How was Zarate as a road trip mate?
I think he drove the whole time.
Oh,
pretty sure he drove.
That sounds about right.
It was because it was us. So it was Miley, Anderson, was it Brett? He's got the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner on it. It's a 1256. I think it's Brett. I don't know, but he was another one. I think he might have rode with Miley's. His tractor might have been in Miley's. But yeah, there was a couple. There was like 4 or 5 of us that went. And then you get there and there's nowhere to park because the 50th was
because it's Bowling Green and because it's the 50th. Yeah.
We ended up parking like on the side somewhere. Yeah, it was insane. So and then
you had to take an Uber to the track.
Yeah, pretty much. So my friends came and picked me up on a 4-wheeler because I had a place to stay already. And so yeah, it was interesting. Because I was gonna drive out there. And Kyle's Brett Weber. Thank you. I knew it was Brett. I just couldn't think about it. Never say never. Yeah. I was gonna drive all night to get there, and then Kyle's like, "Why don't you just ride with us?" He's like, "Just find a ride back home." Okay. It all worked out. Man,
I remember that you told me you hitchhiked. You basically hitchhiked home, and I thought,
yeah,
all right, good for him.
Yeah, it was. No, I had a ride home. I made sure all the ducks were in a row before, but it was pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, it was the crazy stuff you do, for this crazy sport. I'll tell you. I mean, the pullers are nuts, like you said. They're absolutely insane, but I mean, some of the stories that we can tell, just it's like, really? I mean,
yeah, no lie, we're not far behind them.
No, I think we're just as crazy, if not crazier, sometimes. I mean,
we just do it on a budget,
Yeah, or we try to anyway. I mean,
right?
Yeah,
that doesn't work so good.
No, not usually. Hey, did you ever sell that 28 to 300? By the way.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. Just checking.
Yep.
I have one, but I knew somebody else that was looking for one. So
I had a few people kick the tires, but only one guy actually came with money.
So. Okay. Yeah. I should.
Well, that's all it takes. That's the best part.
That's
a killer lens. Jeez, that is like and they stopped making them. I'm like, what the heck? Now they just don't like Tamron makes that multi-purpose lens.
Right.
Canon doesn't. They want you to buy one or the other. It's like, come on, make that.
No, they want you to buy both.
Well, yeah. Or both. They just need to go back to doing that. Like they just came out with I don't even remember but it's like 10 grand.
I know. I debated when I let it go, but it's just like, I don't know. I kind of want to try some other stuff, and there's only so much room in the case and in the budget. So it's like, well, to get something else, something's got to go. And so this is it.
Nice. It's a killer lens. It's definitely one of my favorites.
Listen to YouTube boo-hooing about your lenses that are still in production. They haven't made a lens for my camera in at least 3 years.
Oh, geez.
Well, technically, Canon's not making any of these either because they're on all the mirrorless stuff now, and it's a different lens mount.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they are going the direction that Sony went.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna try and hold out for one more year, and then it's gonna have to be upgrade time, and that's gonna suck. So for those of you who haven't bought a picture lately, pony up.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We'll take.
All right,
I'll
boys,
take
should we call it?
donations today or tomorrow. Wednesday, buy some photos.
I like that idea.
Oh man!
All right, boys, should we put a fork in this?
Holy crap! It's 11:26.
Yeah, I think we ought to.
You didn't realize Missy went to bed a half an hour ago?
All of us have to work in the morning with 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Some of you are even married to one.
What are you talking about? Charles has been babysitting 3 of us.
We're sorry about your life choices, Missy.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
Right.
All right, boys. It was great to catch up.
Yeah, but thank you guys again so much for being here. Like I said, if you guys can share that and stuff, we definitely appreciate it, and tag a bunch of people if you can think of anybody else. And we'll keep this train rolling.
100%.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Hey, thank you
Later
so
on.
much. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see y'all soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Later.